Welcome and warm welcome to High Tech Institution.
Hi team, welcome to our High Tech Institution YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to discuss about how the companies are tracking their monthly cloud spend things. Okay, so this is what in this video we're going to discuss. And if you are a new person to our YouTube channel, so then just subscribe to our channel so that you won't miss any updates. Okay, so let's get started. So this is the key content you're going to see in first. First key content is key components we're going to discuss of cloud spend tracking and the best practices for effective tracking. Okay, these two important contents we're going to see in this video. Okay, let's get started. Okay, the first thing is key components of cloud spend tracking. Okay, so first we need to see why the companies need to track their spends. Okay, so companies tracks their cloud spend to avoid the unexpected huge billings. Okay, unexpected huge billings, and also staying with the budget. Okay, staying within the budget. Okay, the budget they have allocated, they just wanted to stay inside that, and identifies the waste and align spending with business goals. Okay, so this is the actual thing. If you wanted to see one real time example, suppose a company uses AWS or Azure. If they wanted to if they forgot to stop the unused virtual machines, they might get a bill for 40% higher than the expected one. Okay, so this trackings and all helps to detect the unused VMs, unused storages, and over provisioned servers. Okay, so that is the biggest thing. And coming to the tracking goals, key tracking goals, first thing is identify overspending. Just for example, a server is running 24/7, but it just used only for 4 hours daily. So in that case, if we are running the server for 24 hours, end of the day, we need to pay for the unused hours also. So we will be facing billing there also. So we need to fix there. Identify overspending. And after that, allocate cost to departments. Allocate cost to departments. To see one example, marketing team should know how much they spend. Like that. And forecast future budgets. Forecasting future budgets. So if spending increases 10% every month, we need to plan it accordingly. Okay, so these are the key tracking goals. Okay, so now how the organizations are selecting the tracking tool. So that is what we're going to discuss now. Okay, companies uses this tools to see where their money is going, literally. So when come to the cost tracking tools, in AWS we have AWS Cost Explorer. And if your users are in GCP, they are just using the GCP resources. There we have Google Cloud Billing. And similarly in Azure, we have Azure Cost Tracking. And also we have third-party tools like Cloud Health or Datadog, we can say. Okay, so these tools literally shows services wise cost, and then the trends, forecast, and then the daily spending things. Okay, and then how the companies would choose the tool. Okay, how the companies would choose the tool. So first they would check, does it support multi-cloud environment? Okay, is it real time, or it just having an user-friendly dashboard? Okay, can finance team is able to understand this or not? Because finance team doesn't aware of the resource technical things. Okay, so they capable to see the billing, that is that much easier or not, like they will be checking it. Okay, so for example, if the company uses both cloud, like AWS also they are using, Azure also they are using, in the sense they will be looking for the multi-cloud tools like health check, Datadog, and all people will be preferring. Okay, so selecting targeting tools is okay. Now the data collection methods. Okay, so when come to the data collection method, first thing is primary data collection way. So here only two things. One is API integration, another one is billing exports. So API integration, when it comes to API integrations, for example, in AWS we have something called Cost Explorer API. Okay, this Cost Explorer API allows to automatically pulls the billing data, okay, from your AWS account. You can use it wherever you wanted to use. That can be in an Excel sheet, or that can be in another application for some analytical purpose. You can use this API. Okay, and billing exports. See, if you're going to open the AWS console, AWS Cost Explorer console, or the billing page, there itself you can download the CSV JSON files. Okay, this report and all, we can get it in the console itself. We can directly download from there. And coming to the important data points or associated data points, like we say. So the companies literally tracks your compute hours, like the VM usage. And if it comes to storage, right, they will be checking in the GP level, and then the cost per services or resources, we can say, cost per resources, we can say, and then department or project tags. Okay, all the resources must be tagged with the respective name, like this resource belongs to which department, who managing this resource. These details and all that must be there must be tagged, and then the billing period. Okay, so these are the important data points when comes to the company's tracking. Okay, fine. So now come to the best price tracking for effective tracking. Okay, so this is what we're going to see next. Okay, so regular monitoring reporting. Okay, regular monitoring reporting. Here, best companies doesn't check once a year, literally. Okay, so what they would do is they would check every week and every month for deep analysis. Just for example, if the company is just getting bill like 10,000 for the last month since January. Okay, in February, the prices just get up to 11,500. So literally in this scenario, the billing is just get increased by 15%. Okay, so here they will investigate where the issue, and is any billing, just is any prices is just get increased from the Azure side or AWS side, or who did this mistake, that mistake, like they will be analyzing it. Okay, so this is the important thing here. And then what should report contain? Okay, what should report contains? See, MOM comparison, literally MOM comparison, and then the services breakdown, and then trend charts and top 5 cloud services. Okay, for example, here I mentioned 40% on compute, 30% on storage, and 20% on database, and 10% of network, like. Okay, in the visual chat. And coming to the stakeholder communication, this is the very important point. Okay, regular monitoring reporting. Okay, so stakeholder communication is really important. Stakeholder means who? You, me, who all are related to the organization. All are stakeholders, internal stakeholders, external stakeholders, like we'll be telling. Okay, so here the report should be starred with the finance team, and also the department heads, the cloud team, and all should aware of the billing things. Okay, see, if the obviously I agree, finance team doesn't aware of the technical things. So even though if they doesn't aware of the technical things, they need to know some financial details from there, so they must know. Even the department head also, they will be applying some services, and they will be increasing the subscription limit, and sometimes they will be decreasing the subscription limit. Some activities they will be doing the subscription aspect, so they must aware of the billing, and cloud team also. So the stakeholder communication is mandatory when come to the savings aspect thinking. Okay, so coming to the cost allocation and then accountability. Cost allocation and then the accountability. So here, first thing is tagging. Okay, tagging is the best practice in the real time. So why I'm telling like this is, whenever if we wanted to list out the required resources for monitoring or for some troubleshooting, to find the root cause analysis, we will be using these taggings only. And this taggings also helps to find the bills also. So in real time, we will be automating the infrastructure through Terraform and Pulumi things and all. We will be using it. So in Terraform and all, in provider itself, we will be passing the tags. So when the new infrastructure is going to get on board in that code, like VPC, VM, EC2 instances, S3, like any resources are just going to get on board through that Terraform in that code, all the resources will get the same tags. Like we will be using it in the real time. And then department level cost attribution. Department level cost attribution. Just for example, Q1 Cloud. Okay, so Q1 Cloud is the company that they just spending $1 lakh. Okay, so here the engineering would be 30%, sales would be 20%, and marketing would be 20%, others would be 25%. So here now every department knows their responsibility and they will be using it. And coming to the accountability frameworks. Okay, so in this accountability frameworks, each departments get their budget target, monthly review happens, and overspending. Okay, if they are overspending, they will be their RCA will happen, root cause analysis will happen. Just for example, if the engineering is exceeds by 20%, the reason is auto scaling is misconfigured. Then they will be analyze the RCA. RCA in the sense they will be reducing the instance size. Like they will be figured it out and they will be fixing it. And continuous optimization strategy. Okay, so here right sizing resources. Okay, right sizing resources and leveraging reserved instances and eliminating idle resources. Okay, so right sizing resources means if the resource need only 2 core CPU, but I have configured 4 core CPU, in the sense that is not right sizing. Okay, exactly what exactly that resources need, we need to allocate only that capacity. Okay, that is something called over provisioning. If you are going with more higher configuration, that is over provisioning. So we need a right size resourcing. And then leverage reserved instance, which means if we're going to keep our instances for long term, we're going to provide some services. So the service must be available for long term. In that case, we can go with reserved instances. Obviously, we can save 30 to 15% of money when compared to the on-demand pricing. And eliminating idle resources. Eliminating idle resources in the sense from unused storage buckets and S3 buckets and stopped VMs and all, we won't use it. Even though if you are going to stop the instances, or even though if you are not going to use the storages, we will be getting some little bit of amount from there. So if you are removing those unwanted or unused resources, this can be reduced 10 to 15% of total cloud spend. So that is the thing. Yeah. So that's it, guys, in this video. I hope this video really helps you well. So for more interesting topics, subscribe to our channel. And if you are liking this video, put the like to our video. And if you have anything to discuss, just put it in the comment section. I'll respond to you. And okay, guys, fine. I'll come up with the next interesting topic. Until then, signing off from. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you all for watching this here.